my name's Ashley and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're making authentic Italian wedding soup. First, we'll start by putting the chicken in the air fryer. I use 2 chicken breasts for the entire soup. These will go into the air fryer for about 20 to 30 minutes depending. I'll check them in 20 and see how they're doing. Now that the chicken's in the air fryer, we'll move on to the veggies. First, I'll start with the endive. This recipe calls for leafy endive, but I tend to have a hard time finding it, so I just use endive hearts. You can also use kale or spinach and you'll get the same result. The recipe also calls for celery, but I tend to omit it because I don't like the flavor. Now that that's all chopped up, we can put it in a pot and boil it for 30 minutes. To make the soup base, first I'll start with an onion. This recipe is from my family passed down through generations. My great-great-grandmother came over from Italy. My great-grandmother made it for Christmas and Easter every year. Now, my grandmother makes it for Christmas and Easter when she can. Since my great-grandmother passed away 1 year ago, I wanted to honor her by making this recipe for Easter this year. Now that that's all chopped, we can throw it into the pot. The chicken, and now all we have to do is shred it. The easiest way to do that is with 2 forks. Chicken is shredded, we can put it in the pot. The recipe calls for the broth to be made from scratch, but I just use boxed broth. If you want to make it from scratch, you can boil chicken with the bone in, and you can boil a beef bone to add some flavor to it. I just use boxed broth because it's easier, and I get the no salt added stuff so I can season it myself. While that's boiling, time to go to the meatballs. To start, we're going to shred some cheese. The recipe calls for Romano cheese, but because my local store does not have a big variety, we're using Parmesan Reggiano. If this isn't enough, we can also use Parmesan cheese. Now that the cheese is shredded, we can put it aside. Use 1 pound of beef, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of breadcrumbs, and 1 egg. We can't forget the most important part, the cheese. The recipe calls for 2 cups. I tend to add a little more because why not? It's cheese. Seems like it's gonna be this entire block, which I'm perfectly okay with. And again, you can add breadcrumbs as needed. I'm using the breadcrumbs with Italian seasoning, so I don't need to add any other seasonings. You can add salt and pepper, other Italian seasonings as you would like. like. Keep these breadcrumbs here just in case I need them. And we're going in. My great-grandmother also used to make huge meatballs that were literally the size of a softball. Don't know how they ate them, but I heard they were delicious. These are just a miniature version of them, which is sort of why I like them, because they're so small and really cute. And yes, I just called a meatball cute. Deal with it. So your ball of meat should literally look like a ball of meat. It can be a little bit floppy. It's okay as long as it sticks together for the most part. We're going to add a little bit of oil in our pan and start forming tiny balls. Doesn't matter how big they are. I usually do about, I don't know, a nipple size, quarter size. Doesn't matter as long as they're pretty small. The smaller they are, the easier they are to cook. And you don't need to put them all in your pan right away. You can do some of them and keep them to the side and fry some of them at a time. Do a batch at a time. And I'm putting all these in here, but I probably will not fry all of them up at the same time. I'll pull some of them out when I'm ready to fry them up. I like making them all first and then frying them up because then I don't have to make them as I fry them. Just makes it a lot easier as far as going along in the process. I made this recipe for Christmas 2 years ago, and I made 1 pound of beef for I think 15 guests, and everyone was fighting over the meatballs. So if you have a lot of people, you might want to do 2 pounds of beef. Depends on how many meatballs you want to make, or make them a little smaller. It depends on what you want, what you need. Now that they're done being rolled out, I'm going to fry them up. The air fryer seems to be doing a much better job. Air fryer for the win! Now that the endive is done, we're going to make the mixture. This mixture includes 12 eggs, the endive that's been boiled, and Parmesan cheese, because why not? Now that all the eggs are in there, we're going to mix them up. I messed up and put the endive in first before the eggs, but it still worked out. Once those are all mixed up, you can add the cheese. Heat the pot to boiling and then add the egg. the meatballs are finally done, we just have to add them to the soup and heat to boiling. That's how you make authentic Italian wedding soup. If you try this recipe out for yourself, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear how it went. Well, I should probably go. These dishes don't clean themselves. Until next time, happy eating! I have a whole pile of recipes, but if there's something that you want me to try, let me know in the comments. While you're down there, why don't you like the video and subscribe to the channel so you can see more amazing recipes that I make.